Hi, and welcome to winemastery.co.uk. My name's John Lightfoot, and with my co-host John Murphy, we aim to bring you all the information you need so you can find the wine, if not the wines, that you will absolutely love. And in part 2 of this particular episode, we're talking to WineScribble. WineScribble is a YouTube channel based over in Cyprus, and it's a fantastic channel. If you get a chance, take a look at it. Really fantastic information, solid facts about wine, and obviously concentrates quite a lot on the Cypriot wines, which is really interesting, listening to all the very specialist grapes and the great passion there is in that area. In terms of this new renaissance of wine in Cyprus. But in this particular episode, in the first part, we talked all things Cabernet Sauvignon, the effect of COVID-19 and life generally. And this part, we actually get to perhaps what could be regarded as the most enjoyable bit, tasting the wine. So without any further ado, let's hand over where we start to taste 3 Cabernet Sauvignons, one from Australia, one from Cyprus, of course, and one from California, USA.
I have to struggle with, yeah.
How about that?
I'll wait.
Oh, goodness me.
Well, I thought I'd leave it to pour because that way I thought I'd let the air to it rather than sort of... Now, an interesting question, because I've seen now on 2 occasions in different press so-called wine experts saying that you do not need to let wine breathe. So what's your view on that?
I would beg to differ. Who's saying that?
Yeah,
I read it in a newspaper.
Yesterday, I can't remember which one, and I also someone sent me on WhatsApp because I'd said to them to decant, and they'd said, "Well, you don't need to." Look, this wine expert said you don't need to, and that person was a master of wine. So
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we've all during these videos noticed the difference between one wine being poured straight from the bottle and then a wine that's been left in a glass for a while, and notice the difference. I think even a layman can see that. So
yes.
why would?
Well, okay. So if you were, so I'm just going to try to play devil's advocate here, but I do love decanting wine and letting it breathe, and I'm a big believer in that. So I have no idea what this person was on about, because you can, as you said, you can taste the difference. You can taste the difference. It really, really changes. But I would say that if you're planning to have the whole bottle by yourself, I guess. Yeah. You could treat it as a scientific experiment and make detailed notes of each glass as it gradually opens up. So I suppose just for science, if you're planning to have the entire bottle.
Just science.
As you go along with the glass, I don't know, as you've had one glass, you get to a certain level of merriness, and then your second glass, you get to another level of merriness. We'll call it merriness.
Yeah, you might lose the
change of view of how the wine tastes, smells, and all the above. So I mean, there is no need to. I suppose they're completely correct when they say there's no need to decant any wine. You can drink it as it is, but if you decant it, it is going to be better. Would you say?
I think you'll see it develop more clearly, because if you leave it in the glass, it will also aerate, of course, but I don't think it'll be as good. So I guess I'm just going to be really violent with this one now to super aerate it really fast. Because you guys have already poured. I was being such a good girl.
Yeah, you were being polite. Polite.
Look at that. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Be violent, you'll be fine. Oh, I hear that violence.
Whoa, that is fun.
Whoa.
I'm sure your master of wine would strongly disagree with this technique. I get so many comments. I am such a brute. Apparently, I do all kinds of horrible things. Like sometimes I pour myself wine on video and the wine bottle touches the glass. I've been told off.
Is that
I
bad?
have been told off about that.
Is that bad?
Watch how much I care.
You,
You know what's really bad? Spilling it. That's what's bad.
That's very bad.
This is nice.
yeah, I'm already looking forward to mine. I've smelled mine. Oh, mine smells delicious.
Mm.
So hang on, we didn't taste ours yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ladies first.
John, did you check to see if you've got your purple rim okay?
WineScribble, not human. Every bloody time. I didn't actually check, but I will have a little check there. No, man, surprisingly, this does not have a purple rim. Very deep garnet colour, though. I tell you, I'm more, it's the smell. The smell of this is delicious. It really is. It's got to be said, though, the Cabernet Sauvignon is the most fruit-driven of all grapes. When you smell a Cabernet Sauvignon, you can get, your face in there, there's juiciness in there. And mine's got like menthol, a little bit of menthol, that bit that just touches the back, Don't worry if you don't.
I'm sure I shouldn't be getting this, but I'm sure I'm getting wood.
There's no should and shouldn't when it comes to these matters, John.
Okay.
You're only human, John. You're only human.
So have you actually tasted yours yet?
Me.
WineScribble has.
Have you tasted yours?
I said mine yet. No, sorry.
Nor have I. I'm just checking.
I don't want you putting it in your mouth before me.
Now, we're all friends.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
So how's yours, WineScribble? What's yours?
This is this is for me perfect. It's you get all these fruit and it's really dark fruit as well. I think this Cabernet Sauvignon is for bad boys and girls. It's really dark. It just puts you in a naughty mood. You want. John, you see, you're making me really self-conscious. I nearly said you really want meat, and now I feel I can't say that.
Other John. It's got to be other John.
Yes, like I taste this, and I just want steak to go with it. I immediately very, very dark, glossy, luscious fruit. And I love the tannins, the acidity.
And are you getting in terms of the fruit? Is that cherry or is it blackcurrant?
It's we have these cherries at the top of the mountain that are really, really dark, like this color, almost black, and not really sweet. They're like really sour cherries.
Okay.
And that's the sort of cherry you get here. So you get a lot of aroma. But the fruit doesn't really have a lot of sweetness, and you actually have some like some interesting aromas like green pepper, like some savory tastes and aromas here. It's definitely a very food friendly wine. I mean, I'm loving it on its own, but you can see that this has been designed to go with beef. And, who doesn't like that?
John, are you going to go next?
I'll happily go next. Yeah. So mine is Australian, and I'm licking my lips and also doing this at the side of my mouth because of the juiciness that this wine is offering. Now, I did go, when we were talking about which Cabernet Sauvignon we should do from which country, I went to Australia, and I thought I'd better go for kind of a top dog. I want to see what Australia actually has to offer, because Australia, for me, as I've said many times, does what it says on the tin. You can pick up an Australian wine for a tenner, and it says Cabernet Sauvignon Shiraz, and the Cab Sav's going to be fruity, your Shiraz is going to have black currant, and it doesn't really go much further than that. But for me, this is, I'll show you. Well, I'm sure John will put a link up at some point. Botham, I don't see that.
Oh, yes. Cool.
Yeah, so it's a fairly simple looking wine. We say it's £15, I believe, which is not cheap but not expensive. That for me would be a nice everyday drinker. And this one has itself, where you've just been talking about there, that black cherry, but with the bitterness in there comes through. But it's more than just that. It's a tongue coating deliciousness. But all that bitterness is there. The tannins which you're expecting to come in, they're there, but they don't come in and hurt it anymore. The fruit is all you need. The fruit is leaving the juiciness on my mouth there. The mouthfeel is delicious. The smell is lovely. This is what I say is an experience. If people are saying, well, one wine tastes just the same as other, if you know what I mean, those people who do say, well, it all tastes the same kind of thing, that would be the kind of wine I would hand over and say, now have this. This is an experience. This is something that, again, commands a little bit more respect. I can understand with food, this probably would be better, but I'm enjoying it on its own, and I'm going to enjoy it on my own. No, it touches all the bits on your taste buds around here. This hits everything. Being lush, but without being too overly complex where you have to stop and think about, right, can I get that? Can I get that? No, this is a nice introduction to how a Cabernet Sauvignon should be. And I'm happy with that. That's
wonderful. So it's quite a warm climate, is it? Is this...
Australia?
I don't know a lot about Australian wine, I have to say. I can't get a lot of it here.
Okay, well, I think the majority is warm climates, and therefore they grow the kind of the bigger, blacker grape. I will send something on to you.
Ooh, okay. That would be fantastic.
You can't get them there.
Why don't you travel and bring it in your luggage? That would be perfect.
If only I could, but that warm weather does my ginger skin though.
Oh dear, again.
One day, if I'm coming over, John.
Yeah, you can. Where you just
the word, John, we're there.
Now, John, how is your wine?
It's my wine. Okay. So my wine, I've chosen California. It's very fruit driven. So when I've tasted it, it's very cherry. The predominant fruit is cherry. There's a nice balance of tannins, so you don't really get the tannins until after you've swallowed. But I would say that probably, and that's the reason I'm not drinking at the moment, I would say the one disappointing thing I would say about this particular one for me is that the length isn't particularly long enough.
So
I'll kill you.
But apart from that, I think he's gone now.
We've lost John.
Apart from that, I think that it is ideal. This one I think costs about £8, so it's sort of like at the lower end. Probably I could probably get John, I could get nearly two for your one bottle, but I probably would. And again, it's all down to the mood and the circumstances. If I just wanted to sit with a bottle of wine, I would probably choose yours over this. But if I
just wanted this as an everyday wine, it's
delicious. It's the right balance, and is very, very respectable.
And I'm a great believer in letting context and the occasion actually help you decide what kind of wine you're going to taste. I mean, I have no time for like snobbery, because some wines can be quite inexpensive, but sometimes you just want something fun and cheerful that you're having over a conversation, and you're not really engaging with the wine. The wine is just making everything flow for the company. Not every wine needs to be
And this is John has always, we've spoken about this on many occasions, where it's a mood thing as well. You know, sometimes you are in the mood for, let's say you're at home enjoying a lovely book with a bit of food, and you want something that you can eke every little bit, eke every little taste, every sip, every, you know, and not overly, you know, half a bottle is all you need for the evening. But then you've got, you know, that often happens, but sometimes you've got, like I said, you and your girlfriends, and you've got a wine where you're not paying attention to that. You want to run the gossip, you want all this, but it is something. But then that is not that wine and alcohol drinking in general. That, you know, every little bit expands or helps towards the whatever it might be, the occasion. It's all a mood thing. It's all a mood thing, as we've said many times.
Yes, I agree.
Yes.
And obviously, the only definition, we've always said, the only definition of a good bottle of wine is if you like it. If you like it, it's a good bottle of wine, no matter what it costs.
I agree. I completely agree with that. And we like many different things, just as we are friends with many different people. And we don't associate with only one type of person. And a wine is very much like a person. You know, I think of wine as a person, really, because, I mean, it's young. It peaks, and then it's a little bit older, and then some are serious and some are frivolous, and then some change over time.
Some are fruity.
That is a lovely way of putting it, and also I'm going to steal that.
You can steal that. You've stolen my heart already.
I have a boyfriend, you know.
Oh, very good.
It's the mood, Ali.
So, John, the one thing you have
Covered in terms of a Cabernet Sauvignon cheese. What would you normally suggest with if a customer came for cheese?
It's going to be overpowering or something. To be fair, Cabernet Sauvignon is one of these good all-rounders. It will match most things. There's nothing much that it wouldn't go with, unless you're going for something horrifically mild or horrifically strong. So if you start in the middle with that, you know, your Monster, I recommend that quite a lot, Homme d'Ambert, Fountains Gold. There'll be lots of cheeses.
So you could be quite. You just pick up a cheese that you like, and it'll probably go with this. Is your view?
More than likely. Well, perhaps not the one I've got tonight, because the one I've got tonight is quite big. So you probably need something bigger to take on. But an ordinary Cabernet Sauvignon, yeah, probably anything in the middle, as long as you're not too light, not too hard.
not too
hard. Okay. So
Really, you need to tell us if it'd go with cheddar.
With cheddar, yeah, it will definitely go with cheddar.
So in Cyprus, is there more sort of goat's milk than there is cow's milk, or is that not the case?
Traditionally, our dairy products were goat and sheep. Original halloumi, real halloumi. I mean, I don't really. There is cow halloumi, but I never go anywhere near it. It's just not the same thing. We always had goats and sheep more than cows, and now we do have cows. But I don't know. It's not the same thing for me, you know, because this is a hot country. The grass isn't really there, and I just I prefer our goat cheeses and our sheep cheeses and the yogurt as well. Traditional products, yes.
excellent. You
Have any Cypriot cheese in your shop? Do you, John?
No, we have the halloumi, but it's not the original halloumi, so I must apologise.
When I travel, I'll just fill my pockets with blocks of halloumi. I do hope they search me.
Don't accuse me for not having halloumi.
So,
In terms of the Cypriot wine trade, we've said that we think that maybe that there will be some people that are suffering. In terms of vineyards, what about merchants? Are they how are you getting your wine? Is it coming by post at the moment? If you're on lockdown, how are you actually getting hold of wine?
Right. So actually, a lot of our wineries adapted pretty quickly and are delivering wine to people's doors. All you have to do is call them, and they'll send it by courier, or some of the bigger ones actually have employed someone to deliver wine across Cyprus. And also a lot of our distributors are delivering wine. It's really good because, we're locked up and we need wine. People need wine. So, yes. So I have actually made the list. I love lists. Does anyone else love lists? I love making lists. It's my thing, right? So I made a list and I put it up on WineScribble landing page. And if you want to order wine in Cyprus and you live in Cyprus, and I appreciate that this is not relevant to you, but if you are in Cyprus and you want wine delivered to your door, you should go to winescribble.com and you'll find a list with all the details, any limitations about delivery or size of the order, and just call them and they'll bring it to you.
Well done, you. That's good.
No, I don't want to stand in the way. When someone wants to get wine, I shall do everything in my power to make that happen.
Hallelujah.
well done, you.
Well done, you.
So you've mentioned that Cabernet Sauvignon
is grown in Cyprus. Is it a wine you would normally have, or is it something that's a bit of an exception for you to have? But you've said that particular one you've had before, so I'm guessing you would normally have it.
Well, this is a favorite Cabernet Sauvignon. Whether I'll have Cabernet Sauvignon or not depends on a lot of things. So this is not a wine that I would have every day because it just deserves a special occasion. So it's such a beautiful wine. It's so rich and multi-layered, and I like to have it. Obviously, this is a special occasion because I'm tasting wine with possibly my two favorite wine lovers. So yes, this occasion is very much deserving of this wine. But yes, I have this wine as often as I have celebration dinners. So, obviously I need to celebrate a little bit more regularly, but I don't think a month goes by that I've not actually tasted this.
Oh,
okay. Excellent. I doubt whether, John, you could say the same, could you? I doubt whether you actually taste the same wine regularly or have the same bottle regularly.
Well, I say fortunately or unfortunately, because of the job I'm in, we get samples on a daily basis. But to be fair, yeah, there are some wines which I know are staples in my fridge or in my wine rack, which I know. Sorry, cat's just come in. It's like a good. It's a the ones I really do know I'm going to enjoy, which I've got a few in the fridge and a few in the wine rack. This isn't one of them. But there are a few which I know. If I've had a hard day or a good day, you come home and you want something familiar. It's like you were saying, like they're your friend. You sometimes want to speak to one of your friends is crazy. One's gonna be down here. One's gonna be funny. One of this. One of the friends you can always rely on. And there are wines I have in my rack or in my fridge, which I know I can rely on. And, this isn't one of them tonight, but, I can have them.
very good.
Very good. Excellent. Well, it's been an absolutely. I'm going to have to pour myself another glass because mine is almost finished. Have you not finished yours, John, or is that a second glass?
That's a second glass, John. Come on. How dare you suggest that?
Yes, I was saying that John let us know that did you say 1600, John?
Yes.
I want to watch you sweat as I talk about facts, because I can see you're getting stressed, and I'm not. This is not a quiz. No. John told us that Cabernet Sauvignon is essentially the result of the passionate union between Cabernet Franc and Sauvignon Blanc, and that is true. Okay, but we've been talking about occasion and context, and I've just remembered something, because I'm like the queen of wine trivia. So I've just remembered something. There was a study that attempted to pair wine with music. Okay, and I believe this study was in Scotland. I have to look up the details. Maybe I'll add them later, right? So, for example, the study showed that tasters felt that the singer who brought out the best in Chardonnay was Kylie Minogue. So I'd like you to now think and guess which musical artist paired best with Cabernet Sauvignon. Go on.
Mercury.
Oh, I love the way you think. This is a real thing. Please Google it. Obviously not now. You're being tested.
What did you guess, John? What did you guess?
Freddie Mercury.
Oh, good call. I'm Tom Jones.
Tom Jones? I suppose for the touch of leather.
Meatloaf.
I think Australia is going to call and demand you give their Cabernet Sauvignon back. It's actually
Who is it?
Jimi Hendrix.
Oh,
Right? Also,
This. Well,
60% of people reported that he made his music made Cabernet Sauvignon taste better.
okay.
But I don't know if they controlled for terroir.
Oh, that's true. It could, of course, be completely different.
These academics, you know.
I know.
Check with some wine YouTubers, please.
Yeah.
Please.
have you
Please.
any idea who we are?
You know who I am.
And
Are there any others that you can tell us about? So you've mentioned Chardonnay and Cabernet Sauvignon. Are there any others?
I can't think of anything else. I just remember that one. But I can look it up and let you know.
And
But
so can we.
Okay, I have a question for you, John. What does Cabernet Sauvignon have in common with COVID-19?
Wow.
Good question.
COVID-19. That there is no better reason to be locked in for.
That is excellent. That's much better than my answer. Another answer is that it's widespread everywhere except in Antarctica.
Okay.
I like it.
It's a marvelous grape. It's really, really good wherever people plant it. It gives you fantastic wine, and such different wine, whether it's from Australia or California or Cyprus.
yeah.
Absolutely. It's delicious. And I have to say, only beaten by such excellent company. We really thank you for joining us this evening in making this as a tribute to Cabernet Sauvignon. We're really looking forward, when John can get there as well, really looking forward to come and enjoying some Cypriot wine. Really can't wait. I know we've got to, so no choice. But until we do, cheers. All the health.
Cheers to you guys. I really miss you both, and I can't wait to see you again.
Same
It's been
here.
a good pleasure.
Chin chin.
Chin chin.
Yamas.
Yeah,
Hope you enjoyed the second part of that episode. We'll put the link below to WineScribble's YouTube channel. Sure you'll really enjoy it. Take a look. Please, if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel. And also, if you enjoyed this video, please give us the thumbs up. It helps other people find us. All the best. Cheers.